Well, I never realized I'd be so frustrated in my life after seeing a trade like this. Let's get into it. Welcome to Speak Through Sports. This is Sparsh speaking, and today we're going to cover some pretty crazy trade news, and we're going to also be talking about some hockey for the first time on this channel. So we'll get right into it. So there's a pretty controversial trade this morning. If you read the title here on this article, Marc Andre Fleury, goalie of the Las Vegas Golden Knights, was traded to the Blackhawks as in Chicago Blackhawks, and he will reevaluate his hockey future. Okay, so let's just sort of read the article. So let's just read some key points here. So the Golden Knights traded Fleury to the Blackhawks for minor league forward Mikael Hakkinen in a salary dump, and Fleury is set to count $7 million against the Caps next season, the final year of his contract. And that's if he reports at all, agent Alan Walsh tweeted. Marc Andre will be looking at some time to discuss his situation with his family and seriously evaluate his hockey future at this time. Okay. It's so funny because when I read about this, I thought to myself, like, why, right? Why would you trade such an all-time goalie? Like, I'm just going to pull up some stats here. So this is his sort of like career stats, and tell me if you see anything bad about this. Like, this is an amazing stat line that he's had. Like, his only like bad performance, I guess you could say bad, or just his like early years, like 2005, 2006 with Pittsburgh, and 2003, 2004 with Pittsburgh, where he had like a save percentage of .898 and .896. And those are like the only two seasons where he's below .900. And this season, he played in 36 games, right? He started in those 36. He has a 26-10 record. So he has a pretty good record when he plays. And, you know, he had 71 goals against for 989 shots. And he was just having less than two goals against him. And a really great career goal percentage or save percentage of .928, and I believe this is actually like the best season he's had in terms of like save percentage wise, other than like .927 in his first year with Vegas, right? He's had a really great stint with them, including that title run, and I just think to myself, like what are you doing here? Like, why would you release this guy for some salary dump, right? You're not really getting anything out of it. And I mean, we can also look at the Stanley Cup performance as well, right? So just looking at the Stanley Cup game breakdown. So, I mean, if you look at these games, and all the games that Vegas lost, I mean, they were still pretty close, with the exception of like Game 5, however, where they lost by 3, right? And if you just sort of look at his save percentage in the playoffs, so this is the third one here, right? He had a .918 save percentage, and he had 2.04 goals against average. Like, he was still doing really great with like 972 minutes and 52 seconds on the ice. I don't understand like why, and I think he has every right to sort of consider, you know, his retirement, because he is age 36 now. And there is a quote from Bob McKenzie. He's a worker at TSN, and just looking at his tweet, it says, Chicago's leverage here is that it could absorb Marc Andre Fleury's full cap hit, and the Hawks were not on his 10-team no-trade list. So given that he did not want to play anywhere other than Vegas, here's a question. Will he report to the Hawks, or at age 36 might he contemplate retirement? I mean, if he does report to Chicago, great. This is great for Chicago. He's still a great goalie. He definitely put a few more years into it. But I mean, if he doesn't repeat, if he doesn't report to Chicago, then what was the point, right? You're just not really getting anything back. And even for like Vegas, right? I mean, like, what's the point of like just dumping that salary? I mean, you still had a pretty good chance of going to the Stanley Cup Finals, right? And it wasn't really on Marc Andre Fleury for that series loss either. And, you know, it's times like these when you start to think like, yeah, it's a business and all, but like, where's the professionalism when you're not really even telling your player about this. Like he didn't even find out that he was traded by the staff. He actually found out on Twitter. And he's also the reigning Vezina winner as well. And it's just really frustrating because, you know, we've seen these sort of situations happen where a basketball player or any athlete, they get traded and they are not even informed, right? We've seen some situations in basketball. You know, Derrick Rose, he gets a call that he's traded to like New York, and then DeMar, he also finds out that he gets traded from Toronto to San Antonio. Though on the bright side, he got traded for Kawhi Leonard, and the Raptors got their championship like that year of the trade. But this is a complete loss. You know, you're dumping salary, and I don't really think there was any sort of reason to let him go. Like I don't really understand. I'll keep following this, and I'll make sure to update you guys about this later on and follow up with this situation, because this is a really peculiar case. I just don't understand why this is the case. You know, I've been also just reading some like tweets here and there, and people are saying, "Oh, get him back in Pittsburgh." Okay, so you want him back in Pittsburgh. How is Pittsburgh going to be able to compensate for that $7 million, right? Because Pittsburgh has a $6.7 million cap, right? So they're not really going to be able to take that $7 million in Fleury's contract. So now it's really looking like he might actually just retire at this point, especially considering that report where he's just contemplating his future. I mean, honestly, I feel like he has every right to. He's done everything he could for Vegas and Pittsburgh, and he's had an amazing career. I got some titles in his run, and this is frustrating. I don't really see why this was even necessary. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think he's gonna go and report to Chicago, or do you think Fleury's actually gonna retire? Please make sure to comment below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel, and make sure to also press the bell for some notifications so you're up to date whenever we post some new content for you guys. Right. Don't forget to check out our Instagram, Speak True Sports, our Twitter, Speak True Sport, and our website, speaktruesports.com. This is Sparsh. Take it easy, stay safe, and stay awesome. And I'm signing out.